1969, a year of love, hate, success, failure, and cinema. While young men fought and were drafted into Vietnam, their sisters and brothers gathered in the greatest musical festival of their time. The average family had 2.1 kids, sending them out to school, to war, or to the streets. With the draft instated and a new man in the White House, the air was heating with dissension. The civil rights movement was in full swing, and hippie lifestyle was at a turning point. But no matter the state of the nation, people will always be eager to watch movies, and, if nothing else, the troubled times made for great cinema. The filmmakers took on the problems of their time as well as the attitude. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Midnight Cowboy, and Z are the films that I'll be observing for context. All three movies are certainly dark. They deal with death, violence, and failure of youth. The filmmakers had caught the bug that was passing through circles of artists and players in modern culture. They were critical of the hippie movement, pointed out many of its flaws in their films. Butch and Sundance can't run forever. The free-spirited, anti-establishment life that they lead, although glamorous, comes to a rather insignificant end as they eventually fall to the overwhelming power of the law. In Midnight Cowboy, Joe fails to find any sort of success in his subversive business, and in Z, a promising young Democratic politician in Greece is assassinated, and his insider conspirators are never brought to justice. War. War? What war? To the contemporary audience, this would have sounded quite the irony. The war in Vietnam was painfully real to Americans, and it was shown every night on the news. Cameras were at work there, too. In the year prior, the tides had changed. More than half of Americans were opposed to the war, and the draft had been implemented. 1969 was the year of the largest anti-war march on the Capitol. It was the youth versus the government. Soldiers were a common presence at demonstrations, and hating the establishment was all but a requirement for the youth. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid boldly cast outlaws, and Z, a dissenter, both combatants of the establishment, as their heroes, and the government and the law as its powerful foe. The 1960s are often seen today for their incredibly happening in popular culture. The three films explored the field of fading youth and celebrity. Though Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid does illustrate the fallbacks of a free life, the movie as a whole glorifies the lifestyle, much unlike The Midnight Cowboy. Everyone likes to imagine being criminals, especially if they're famous. Butch and the Kid are handsome, Butch talks fast, and the Sundance shoots faster. It's honestly hard to watch this film as a straight western because the two heroes seem straight out of the 70s, coming off less as outlaws on the run and more like thrill-seekers refusing to settle down. The film as a whole caters closely to the 1960s-70s aesthetic. The way they dress is not too far off from the style of the day, and Gregory Roy Hill also incorporated music from '69. In a favorite scene, Butch and Etta are riding on the newfangled bicycle, a device loved by hippies almost as much as hipsters. Riding along to the soundtrack, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. They just look like a pair of hippies. Catherine Ross could be from any '69 fashion magazine, topped off by the flower in her hair. John Schlesinger created a much more openly despicable view of the free men in Midnight Cowboy. He created a pitiful picture of everyone in the movie, going out of his way to make every niche of American life appear disgusting. His disillusionment with American culture is highlighted by putting the romantic image of a cowboy in such a pitiful place. Ragged, dumb, and whored out. These three movies are certainly extraordinary in their cinematic quality, but their nomination also is an indication to the sentiment of the Academy and the world at large. They express disillusionment, dissatisfaction, and injustice while capturing their unique place in time with a unique lens.